They said family would always be there, but what if they're not? There comes a moment in life when the world slows down. Not by choice, but by time itself. After 60, the phone rings less. The invitations come fewer. The people who once needed you are now busy with their own lives. It's not that they don't love you. It's not that they've forgotten you. It's just the way life works. Maybe your parents are long gone. Maybe your closest friends, the ones who once shared your joys and struggles, have drifted away, lost in their battles. Your children? They love you, but they have their own families to raise, their burdens to carry. If your only plan for the future is my family will take care of me, then I have bad news for you. That is not enough. Not because they don't care, but because they can't be your entire world. But don't despair. Because when the illusion of dependence fades, when you stop waiting for someone else to save you, a new reality appears. 4 fundamental pillars will keep you strong, independent, and unshaken in the storms of life. If you build them early, nurture them with discipline, and uphold them with wisdom, they will be the foundation that no one, not time, not loss, not even fate, can take away from you. These aren't abstract ideas. They are practical, undeniable human truths. So what are they? What must you cultivate to ensure that, no matter what happens, you remain in control of your own life? In this video, we'll reveal the real pillars of strength after 60. Pillars that will keep you independent, respected, and thriving no matter who stays or who leaves. In part 1, we focus on the first 2 essential pillars: health and financial independence. These aren't just ideas. They are the foundation of your strength. Without them, nothing else matters. With them, you never have to fear losing control. Because waiting for others to show up for you is a gamble. But preparing yourself to stand strong, that is power. This is Victory Stoic, the place where you learn to build a life you control. If you're ready to secure your future, like, share, subscribe, and comment below. I choose my independence. Now let's begin. Pillar 1: health. A healthy body, a strong mind. Number 1, health is your greatest asset. Without it, you have nothing. There is one undeniable truth. If you lose your health, you lose control over your life. When you were younger, neglecting your body came with few consequences. Sleep deprivation, poor diet, and lack of exercise didn't seem to matter. But after 60, the cost of neglect becomes clear. A weak body traps you. Your world shrinks when every movement is painful, when simple tasks require assistance, and when energy is constantly drained. What good is money if your body is too frail to enjoy it? What good is free time if every step feels like a battle? The difference between those who thrive after 60 and those who suffer isn't luck. It's how they treat their bodies. The person who can still travel, enjoy hobbies, and live independently didn't get there by accident. They made a choice. They prioritized movement, made conscious food choices, and protected their rest. The ones struggling, trapped in a cycle of weakness, regret not making that choice sooner. You cannot buy back time, and you cannot negotiate with aging, but you can prepare for it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." The same applies to your health. Stop waiting. Start acting. If you don't take responsibility now, your body will choose for you later, and by then, it will be too late. Number 2, move every day, because strength is freedom. There is a harsh reality many people don't realize until it's too late. The moment you stop moving, your body starts decaying. You don't need to train like an athlete. You don't need to lift heavy weights or run marathons. But if you do nothing, if you let yourself sit, rest, and avoid movement, you are setting yourself up for a future of weakness, pain, and dependence. Think of a retired soldier and a retired office worker, both at age 65. The soldier, though older, still moves with strength. His back is straight, his steps are firm, and he can handle everyday tasks with ease. Why? Because his body has been conditioned to move. Meanwhile, the office worker, who spent decades sitting, barely exercising, struggles to walk up the stairs. His joints ache, his back hurts, and his balance is poor. His body is not weak because of age, it is weak because it was never used. The price of inactivity: after 60, muscles naturally begin to weaken, joints stiffen, and balance deteriorates. But this is not an inevitable curse of aging. It is the result of neglect. If you don't use your muscles, they shrink. If you don't stretch, your flexibility disappears. If you don't challenge your balance, falls become more frequent. And one bad fall? It can take away your independence permanently. The most dangerous lie people believe is, "I'm too old to start exercising." This is an excuse. You are not too old to move. You are too old to stop moving. The moment you accept weakness as your fate, you start dying faster than you should. Simple movements, massive results. You don't need to train like a professional athlete to maintain strength and mobility. Small, consistent efforts are enough to keep your body functioning well. Walking. 30 minutes a day is enough to improve circulation, maintain joint health, and boost energy levels. If you struggle with long walks, start with 5-minute walks after meals and gradually increase. Stretching. Gentle stretches in the morning and before bed prevent stiffness and improve flexibility. If you can't touch your toes today, start small, but never stop trying. Balance exercises. Stand on one leg for 10 seconds a day. Hold on to a chair if necessary. Good balance is the difference between staying independent or suffering a fall that changes your life forever. Bodyweight exercises, squats, leg lifts, or light push-ups keep your muscles engaged. If you can't do these on the floor, start with a chair. Stand up and sit down 10 times daily. Move or decay. You choose. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "The greater the difficulty, the more glory in overcoming it." Exercise may feel uncomfortable at first, but discomfort is temporary. Weakness lasts forever. Every day you refuse to move is a day closer to losing your independence. But every step you take, every stretch you make, every small movement you commit to, is a step towards strength, dignity, and freedom. So ask yourself, do you want to be the person who still moves freely at 80, or the one who needs help standing up at 65? The choice is made every single day. And today, you choose to move. Number 3, eat smart, because your body is no longer forgiving. When you were younger, your body could handle almost anything. You could eat late at night, indulge in junk food, drink too much coffee, and still function the next day. But after 60, your body is no longer so forgiving. Digestion slows down, metabolism weakens, and the foods you once enjoyed without consequence now directly impact your energy levels, joint health, heart function, and even your brain. Ignore this reality and you'll feel sluggish, inflamed, and weak. Adapt to it and you will extend both the quality and length of your life. Why your diet must change after 60. Your body's ability to break down and absorb nutrients decreases with age. This means that if you keep eating the same way you did in your 30s, your body will start accumulating damage faster than it can repair. Your metabolism slows down. You burn fewer calories, meaning weight gain happens more easily if you overeat. Your digestion weakens. Heavy, greasy foods cause bloating, acid reflux, and discomfort. Your bones become fragile. Without enough calcium and vitamin D, bone loss accelerates, increasing the risk of fractures. Your blood pressure and sugar levels fluctuate more easily. Excessive salt and sugar intake can quickly lead to hypertension, diabetes, or heart disease. Inflammation builds up. Processed foods and artificial ingredients trigger chronic inflammation, leading to joint pain, fatigue, and even cognitive decline. Ignoring your diet doesn't just lead to weight gain, it directly affects your mobility, energy levels, and ability to stay independent. How to eat for strength, not just survival. Eating less isn't the goal. Eating smarter is. Instead of consuming empty calories, focus on foods that give you strength, mental clarity, and longevity. Prioritize protein. Muscle loss is a major problem after 60, making you weaker and more prone to injury. Include lean proteins like fish, chicken, eggs, beans, and Greek yogurt in every meal to maintain muscle mass. Reduce sugar and processed foods. They accelerate aging, cause blood sugar spikes, and contribute to chronic diseases. If a food comes in a box and has a long list of ingredients you can't pronounce, limit it. Lower salt intake. Excess sodium causes water retention and raises blood pressure, straining your heart. Use herbs, garlic, lemon, and natural spices instead of relying on salt for flavor. Increase fiber intake. Constipation becomes more common with age, but fiber-rich foods like vegetables, fruits, and whole grains keep digestion smooth and gut health strong. Stay hydrated. Dehydration causes fatigue, confusion, and dizziness, yet many older adults drink far too little water. Aim for at least 6 to 8 glasses of water daily. Your energy levels will thank you. You are what you eat. So eat for the life you want. If you eat like someone who has given up, your body will reflect that. But if you eat like someone who is preparing for a strong, independent future, your body will reward you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." You may not be able to eat as recklessly as you once did, but this limitation is also your path to strength. Your body will perform exactly as well as the fuel you give it. So ask yourself, do you want a body that carries you through life with power, or one that crumbles under neglect? The answer is on your plate. Choose wisely. Number 4. Quality sleep, the key to a strong mind and body. After 60, sleep is often dismissed as a minor factor in health, yet after 60, it becomes one of the most critical pillars of longevity. The problem? Aging disrupts sleep patterns, making it harder to fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling rested. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that older adults spend less time in deep sleep, the stage crucial for muscle recovery, memory consolidation, and immune function. Poor sleep doesn't just cause daytime fatigue. It weakens cognitive function, accelerates aging, and increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and dementia. A study published in the Journal of Neuroscience found that sleep deprivation leads to an accumulation of beta-amyloid plaques in the brain, the same toxic buildup linked to Alzheimer's disease. In short, poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it erodes your mind and body. So why do so many people over 60 struggle with sleep? Melatonin production declines with age, making it harder for the body to recognize when it's time to rest. Circadian rhythms, the internal clock regulating sleep, become more fragile, leading to frequent awakenings. Chronic pain, medications, and stress further complicate the issue. But here's the truth. While aging makes sleep more difficult, bad habits make it worse. The good news? You can retrain your body to sleep well, no matter your age. First, respect your body's sleep signals. Many older adults fall into the trap of taking long daytime naps, leading to nighttime restlessness. A study from Harvard Medical School found that limiting naps to under 30 minutes improves nighttime sleep quality. Sticking to a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, yes, even on weekends, helps regulate your internal clock. If you keep changing your sleep schedule, your body never knows when to rest. Second, eliminate artificial light before bed. Screens from phones, tablets, and TVs emit blue light that suppresses melatonin production, tricking your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Research from the Sleep Foundation confirms that avoiding screens at least an hour before bed significantly improves sleep quality. Instead of scrolling through your phone, opt for a book, meditation, or gentle stretching. Third, create an environment that signals rest. Your bedroom should be cool, dark, and quiet. Your brain associates light and noise with wakefulness. The National Sleep Foundation states that keeping the room temperature around 18 degrees Celsius, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, is optimal for deep sleep. If outside noise is an issue, use a white noise machine or earplugs. Lastly, watch your evening habits. Avoid caffeine and heavy meals close to bedtime. Caffeine lingers in the system for up to 6 hours, and digesting a big meal before bed forces your body to work when it should be resting. Instead, opt for herbal teas like chamomile or magnesium-rich foods like bananas and almonds, both known to promote relaxation. The Stoics believed in living in alignment with nature, and good sleep is a natural requirement for a strong mind and body. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote in Meditations, "Even in sleep, we should be disciplined." If you want to stay sharp, energetic, and independent after 60, prioritizing sleep isn't optional, it's survival. Number 5. Protect your mental health, because peace is power after 60. The greatest battle you will fight is not against aging, it is against your mind. Stress, regret, loneliness, and fear of the future can creep in, weakening you faster than time ever could. The truth is, physical health alone is not enough. A strong mind is what allows you to fully live. Take Mr. Anderson, a retired engineer who spent decades solving complex problems. He was once sharp, disciplined, and full of energy. But after retirement, he found himself constantly anxious, restless, and overwhelmed. Small things irritated him. His wife's habits, the news, even the sound of silence. He worried about money, his health, and his children, even though none of these concerns were urgent. His mind was no longer his ally, it was his enemy. Then there was Mrs. Collins. She too retired at 65, but she approached life differently. Instead of filling her days with worry, she filled them with structure. Every morning, she meditated for 10 minutes, allowing her mind to settle. She read philosophy and history, keeping her thoughts engaged in something bigger than herself. She wrote in a journal every night, reflecting on her day, acknowledging her fears, and letting them go. One man was consumed by his thoughts. The other controlled them. The science of a peaceful mind. Chronic stress is not just a feeling. It physically damages the brain. A study from the Journal of Neuroscience found that prolonged stress shrinks the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and emotional regulation. This is why people who dwell in negativity age faster, lose cognitive function sooner, and struggle with depression. The good news? You can rewire your mind to resist stress and cultivate peace. Simple practices to build mental strength. Meditation and mindfulness. Neuroscientists at Harvard found that just 10 minutes of meditation a day reduces stress hormones, improves focus, and enhances emotional stability. If you don't know where to start, simply sit quietly, focus on your breath, and let your thoughts pass without judgment. Reading for mental expansion. A study from Yale University found that reading books regularly adds years to your life by keeping the brain engaged. Stoic philosophy, history, or even fiction can provide perspective, making your worries seem smaller. The mind needs new challenges to stay sharp. Feed it. Journaling to clear the mind. Writing down your thoughts forces you to process emotions rather than letting them build up. List 3 things you're grateful for each night. This small habit rewires your brain for positivity over time. Epictetus once said, "You become what you give your attention to." If you focus on stress, you will be ruled by it. But if you train your mind in discipline and peace, nothing in life, not age, not uncertainty, not loss, will have power over you. Pillar 2, financial pillar. Freedom is not just about having money, but about living without dependency. Number 6, money is freedom. Without it, you lose control. No one wants to reach a point where they must ask for financial help, yet many do, not because they lack love, but because they lack preparation. After 60, your financial situation determines whether you live with dignity or dependence. The uncomfortable truth? Without money, your choices shrink. You can't travel as you wish, you can't seek the best healthcare, and worst of all, you may become a burden to those you love. Think of Mr. Reynolds, who retired at 65 believing his children would take care of him if needed. But life had other plans. His son had financial struggles of his own, and his daughter was raising a family with limited resources. Mr. Reynolds, once independent, now felt powerless. Contrast that with Mrs. Thompson, who built a financial cushion through years of disciplined saving. Even after retirement, she invested in small rental properties and part-time consulting. Now in her 70s, she never has to ask for help. She travels when she wants, chooses the best doctors, and lives life on her terms. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that financial stress is one of the leading causes of depression among older adults. It's not about being wealthy, it's about having enough to make decisions without fear. If you don't have a solid financial plan, start now. Reduce unnecessary spending, diversify your savings, and if possible, create a small source of passive income. Whether it's a rental property, dividends from investments, or even turning a lifelong skill into a paid hobby, having your financial independence is the difference between living freely and living under obligation. Seneca once said, "Wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. If you manage your money well, it will serve you. If you don't, it will enslave you." Number 7, spend smart. Master your money before it masters you. Financial security isn't about being rich, it's about being in control. Many people believe that as long as they have enough to cover daily expenses, their financial future will take care of itself. But after 60, the reality shifts. Unexpected medical bills, inflation, and the rising cost of living can quickly drain savings if there's no structured financial plan. Spending recklessly in youth leads to dependence in old age. The key is smart allocation, knowing exactly where every dollar goes and ensuring it works for you, not against you. One of the most effective and proven systems for financial management is the 6 Jars money management system, a concept developed by T. Harv Eker that divides income into 6 categories. allowing for both financial stability and a fulfilling life. The first jar, necessities, 55%, covers essential living expenses: food, rent, utilities, healthcare, and insurance. After 60, medical expenses tend to increase, so having a solid portion of income dedicated to these areas ensures security. Many retirees struggle because they never accounted for rising healthcare costs, forcing them to dip into emergency funds or rely on family. The second jar, long-term savings, 10%, acts as a safety net for emergencies. Life is unpredictable. Unexpected home repairs, medical procedures, or economic downturns can create stress if there's no reserve. Keeping at least 6 months' worth of expenses in savings prevents financial panic. The third jar, investment, 10%, ensures that money continues to grow even after retirement. Many older adults believe investing is too risky, but low-risk investments like dividend stocks, rental properties, or retirement funds can provide a steady cash flow. Passive income means financial independence. Money should work for you, not the other way around. The fourth jar, education and growth, 10%, is often overlooked but remains essential. Even after retirement, learning never stops. Books, courses, and workshops keep the mind sharp and open doors to new opportunities, even income-generating ones. Those who stop learning become stagnant, while those who continue evolving remain valuable in all aspects of life. The fifth jar, play, 10%, is dedicated to enjoying life without guilt. Travel, dining out, hobbies, and entertainment should not be viewed as luxuries, but as necessary investments in well-being. Many older adults either overspend on pleasure, leading to financial stress, or deprive themselves entirely, leading to a joyless existence. Balance is key. The sixth jar, giving, 5%, allows for contributions to charity, family, or causes that matter. Giving is not just about generosity, but about keeping a healthy relationship with money. Understanding that wealth is a tool, not something to be hoarded in fear. Following the six-jar model ensures that no aspect of life is neglected. There's security in knowing that essentials are covered, savings are growing, and life is still enjoyable. Marcus Aurelius once said, "A man should be upright, not kept upright." True financial freedom comes not from luck or dependence, but from disciplined, intelligent decision-making. After 60, the ability to spend wisely determines whether you live with dignity or desperation. The choice is yours. Number 8, passive income. The key to financial independence. After 60. After 60, relying solely on savings is a dangerous game. Inflation rises, medical expenses increase, and unexpected costs appear when you least expect them. Without a steady flow of income, even a well-planned retirement fund can dry up faster than anticipated. The solution? Passive income. Money that works for you, even when you're not actively working. Think about Mr. Harris, a retired teacher. At 65, he had a decent pension, but inflation and rising healthcare costs began eating into his savings. Instead of worrying, he had a plan. Years ago, he had bought a small rental property. Now the rent check arrived every month, covering his living expenses without him lifting a finger. Compare that to Mrs. Adams, who retired with no additional income streams. By 70, she was dipping into her savings faster than she expected. At 75, she was forced to downsize and rely on financial help from her children. One planned and remained independent, while the other faced financial stress that could have been avoided. The good news? You don't need to be rich to build passive income. Even after 60, there are safe and practical ways to create steady cash flow. Real estate rentals are one of the most reliable sources of passive income. A small apartment or a spare room rented out on a long-term lease can generate consistent money. If managing tenants seems overwhelming, hiring a property manager can handle it for you. Dividend stocks are another option. Many companies pay shareholders quarterly just for owning their stock. Investing in stable, blue-chip companies provides a steady stream of income without selling your investments. For those who enjoy low-risk options, fixed deposits and annuities provide guaranteed returns. While the growth may be slower than stocks, the security is often worth it. Small business investments, whether it's partnering in a family business, funding a startup, or selling digital products online, can also provide ongoing revenue with minimal effort. Even something as simple as turning a lifelong skill into a paid service, consulting, tutoring, or crafting, can generate income without the burden of full-time work. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Wealth is not having a large bank account, but having the freedom to live without fear." Passive income gives you that freedom. It ensures that no matter what happens, you never feel powerless over your finances. If you don't build these streams now, the risk isn't just running out of money, it's running out of choices. Number 9. Don't rely on your children for financial security. Stay independent. Many parents spend their entire lives sacrificing for their children, believing that when the time comes, their children will return the favor. While love and gratitude often exist, financial dependence on your children is one of the fastest ways to lose both dignity and peace. The truth is, your children have their own lives, responsibilities, and financial struggles. Expecting them to fully support you, even with the best intentions, can strain relationships and create resentment on both sides. Take Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, who worked tirelessly to provide for their 2 children. They never prioritized saving for retirement, assuming their kids would take care of them. Now in their late 60s, they find themselves constantly needing financial help. Their son, already struggling with a mortgage and his family expenses, feels guilty but also overwhelmed. Their daughter, who initially sent money happily, now finds herself avoiding phone calls, feeling drained by the expectation. Slowly, what was once a loving relationship turns into a burden. Contrast that with Mr. Bennett, who made financial independence his priority. He saved diligently, invested wisely, and created passive income sources. Now in his 70s, he doesn't need to ask for help, he offers it. His children visit because they want to, not out of obligation. He never feels like a burden, and his kids never feel trapped. The difference? One parent planned for independence. The other assumed help would always be there. According to a study by the National Bureau of Economic Research, financial dependence on adult children often leads to increased stress, family conflicts, and even estrangement. The best way to strengthen your relationships after 60 is to ensure that your presence is a source of joy, not a financial obligation. The goal isn't to reject help if it's offered, but to never make it necessary. How do you stay independent? Continue generating income through passive investments, cut unnecessary expenses, and plan for long-term financial needs. Maintain a safety net for unexpected emergencies and health expenses, so no one has to scramble when something goes wrong. If you have savings, protect them. Don't give everything to your children while you're still alive. Many parents transfer all their assets too soon, only to find themselves financially vulnerable. Keep control over your finances, and you keep control over your life. Seneca once said, "The greatest wealth is to live content with little, but to owe nothing to anyone." Your children love you, but they should never feel obligated to carry your financial weight. True love is allowing them to build their future without the guilt of carrying yours. Independence isn't just about money, it's about maintaining respect, freedom, and a relationship built on love, not obligation. Closing, build your strength through health and financial independence, because no one else will do it for you. Life after 60 isn't about waiting for someone to take care of you or clinging to what once was. It's about taking full control of your future. In this first part of our 2-video series, we've explored the 2 essential pillars that lay the foundation for real independence: a strong, capable body and financial security that frees you from dependence. While family love is priceless, relying solely on others for stability leaves you vulnerable. True freedom comes from knowing that your health and finances are under your command. Take charge now. Invest in your body, protect your finances, and create a life where you never have to beg for security. And remember, this is just the beginning. In the next video, we'll dive into the remaining pillars: social and knowledge, the elements that will keep your mind sharp, your connections meaningful, and your purpose alive. If you're committed to building a life of strength, like, share, subscribe, and comment below. I choose my independence. Thank you for watching Victory Stoic, where we don't just grow older, we grow stronger. Stay tuned, because your journey to absolute independence is far from over.